What's up, Lego builders? Welcome back to Coconut Brick Studios, and I am back with another tutorial video for you. Today I'm going to be showing you different flooring techniques you can use for your Mocs, a couple of which even the most experienced of you may not have seen before. Floors, especially for me, can be tough to build, especially if you want to do something other than the common plate, tile, and snot techniques we all typically use. And while these techniques I'm going to show you use all of those, there are going to be some nice twists I think you'll enjoy. If you're excited to get down with some flooring techniques, don't forget to execute order 66 on that like button. And if you're new watching for the first time, consider subscribing and tapping that bell so you'll be notified as soon as the next video drops. The first technique I'm going to build today is the familiar 2x2 tile floor, but with a twist. Typically when placing tiles, they need to be right next to each other or one stud apart. I'm going to show you how to do it with just a tiny gap between your tiles. Start by building a short wall outlining the shape you want your tiled area to be. Next, place down a layer of tiles inside the shape you created. Doesn't matter what color the tiles are. I'm going to make a little garden area with a tiled patio, so I'm going to put down some brown bricks around the patio area. Next, take two 2x2 plates and some smaller plates and tiles and connect the two plates together and put the smaller tiles and plates on top. Set those completed tiles in the box you made. Now grab a bunch of 1x whatever tiles and put them on their sides surrounding the 2x2 tiles. Repeat this process until you have filled the entire box. This may take a lot of trial and error trying to find the right shape for the 2x2 tiles and 1x tiles to fit tight in the box, so you may need to adjust the length and width of your box accordingly. And sometimes you may have two rows of 1x tiles next to each other, kind of like what I have on that far side. I learned this technique from Sacred Bricks. If you guys aren't watching his videos, I would highly recommend it. He has some great techniques and tutorials. Next is a good old cobblestone path or road. I'm going to start by putting down some plate to create steps on one side. Start placing a variety of 1x1, 1x2, and 2x2 rounded plates and tiles. I would recommend using only 2 to 3 colors so your road doesn't look too chaotic. Light gray and dark gray with some kind of plant or dirt color are what I like to use. I have noticed that it looks best if you start by putting down the 1x2s and 2x2s first and then fill in the gaps between them with the smaller parts. Note, if you want a smoother look, use more tiles than plates, obviously. This technique is great for a more rugged looking Moc or something old and slightly run down, and provides plenty of studs for placing minifigures. Next, I'm going to build a grated hallway for ships, hallways, and base floors. Like the first technique I showed, start by making a box in the shape you want your walkway to be. Fill the bottom with tile. Make sure to use black tile so it looks like there's no floor beneath the grate or that it's too dark to see down there. Next, take some rounded 1x2 plates and a bunch of flick-fire missile sticks and connect 2 of them to the bottom of a plate. Next, stick the bottom of the 2 sticks through the top of another 1x2 plate and repeat this process until you have the right length. Once finished, build another set until you have the right width and connect them together with a 1x tile. Slide the completed grate into the box you made. This is a great use for all those useless flick-fire missiles you have laying around, and will give you a break from using tile and snot for the walkways of your ships and bases. The last technique I am going to build today is a cracked rock terrain. Start by building a box in the shape you want. Once that is finished, fill the bottom of the box with tile. I picked black for this to help hide the floor beneath and make the cracks look like they run pretty deep, but you can use other colors if you want, if there is lava, water, or something else underneath. Now get a bunch of slopes, inverted slopes, and bricks and start building random shapes. Remember, these pieces are going to need to fit together later, kind of like puzzle pieces, so try fitting them next to each other as you're building to make sure they fit together nicely and there are as few gaps as possible between the pieces. Once finished, start placing the big rock chunks in the box and put all the pieces in and start fitting them together as best you can. After, take some cheese slopes, and tiles and use them to fill up the larger gaps between the chunks. I'm really excited to use this technique for Coruscant. This technique also makes for great battle damage roads or walls. You can add headlight bricks to your larger chunks to make it easier to place minifigures. Hopefully this tutorial was helpful to you in some way. These steps are all pretty simple and straightforward, so there are lots of things you can add or change to make them even better. Don't forget to let me know which of these techniques was your favorite down below in the comments, and if you have any other techniques, tutorials, or anything else you would like to see me do, drop them down there as well, and I will catch you guys in the next video, but until then, happy building.